Hey, welcome back to Project Lamborghini, 1968 Pontiac Firebird, which happens to be my dad's. Part of the reason we're probably trying to bring back this rusty relic. If you've been following along so far, you know we've done a bunch of metal work, and you don't see a whole lot of bracing, and it's a convertible. That's okay, because things went sideways. That's what's going to happen. But I want to show you how to fix those things that go sideways, because even if you do bracing, you may notice some of these same trends. That's what we're going to get into today. Yes, I hung these doors and made them look great, lined up fantastic, using them as points of reference. Everything was going great until I welded the floor pan in. I've got some discrepancies. Oh no, what do I do? Well, that's what we're going to show you here today. I got the doors lined up, but they don't look that great anymore. They look good from here, but get a little closer, I've got problems. So let's start with a recap. We started the firewall, working our way back, and I got the main floor pan in, did the rocker panels, those are brand new. Now, if you know how we do this, I hang the door, get everything lined up great. That was before I cut this quarter panel out, before I cut the rocker panel out, and before we did the floor pan. So at that point, my door jamb, my door gap lined up. That vertical gap still looks fantastic. Where the problem now lies is here. I've got the door shut. We're on the same plane. Looks pretty good, right? Now remember, I'm gonna hold this shut. But the problem is when we get down here to the bottom, it's kicked out quite a bit in relationship to the quarter panel. About a 1/4 inch. What changed, right? Well, it lined up before until I replaced the rocker panels. Even when I did just the rocker panels, my door still lined up pretty good. This is what we have to do when not doing a bunch of bracing. Got to watch everything. It gets to be a little bit cumbersome, but it's very important and vital to get that observation in there to make sure what's going sideways. When it does, so we know what we have to do to fix it. Like I said, now I've got this gap there. Now I could shut this gap here and line it up with the rocker panel, but then look what happens to my door. I am now sitting in entirely way too far. Now you say, well, John, that's an easy fix. Loosen up the hinges and shift the door. That is an option, definitely. I know that might be the solution. It might be something we have to do to fine tune it, but I've got some other ideas, and that's what we're gonna show. Now, again, the only time I finally got this problem with the gap was when I welded our brand new floor pan in. I had to use the ratchet straps to pull the rocker panels in to get it to measure 47 inches. Well, could be a couple of things. When this car was rusting apart, that whole seam had come apart, so the car started to relax and actually spread open. I didn't measure before. I also didn't put bracing out before because I want total control or adjustability when I'm putting this car back together. So what I'm going to say is, yes, we could probably take our hinge loose, shift it out some, and maybe dial that thing back in. Or, since what actually caused when I welded the floor in, maybe I pulled that rocker panel in further, back to where it actually probably belongs. But in doing so, may have caused some problems here with my door post. What I'm suggesting is, well, what if we just bring the top of this in just a little bit towards that side there, and then that, of course, that would then pull everything in. I don't need a whole lot. I'm going to try to figure out how much to measure, how much to pull, but that's what we're going to do here today. That's why I got the ratchet strap sitting there on the floor. So let's get started. This here is an old iPhone I use for wheel chocks, video recording, and an angle gauge. Check this out. Did you know these had that? Anyway, nonetheless, here's what I have. You tilt this thing out this way, negative, then positive. Now, if I rest it here on this piece of metal, this vertical face here of the quarter panel inner trim piece here should be perpendicular, so it should be 0 degrees. Now, if we're showing a negative number, that confirms that we're leaning out at the top. Now, there we go, do that here. There we go. Now holding it in place, it's only -1 degree. We're not talking a whole lot. Even if it was 0, I'd probably still do this technique, and I'll show you where it's at when we're done. As long as we're not laying in, 2 to 3 degrees positive, we're gonna be just fine. So we're gonna use this to kind of monitor where we're at. Now, the other thing to keep in mind, this is a convertible. I'm gonna be flexing this post in and out. Still probably could do that to a coupe just the same if you need to, but on a convertible, I put these 2 screws in when I was test fitting the panels. That's why it's still screwed in. That's the beauty of the screw technique. Take these 2 screws out. That'll allow this panel to come in. This will travel down towards the floor a little bit, and then I can, reset the screws in the new location to help hold this in place until I get it where I like it. So we'll go ahead and get the ratchet strap configured up here. I'll probably tie it to that hole here on my brace I made here, and then, or you could probably loop it or hook it up here if you wanted to. It's not going to take a lot of force, especially with those screws out, to get this to move over. Now, this technique doesn't exclusively only work for this. I also use this same setup, the frame rail where it attaches underneath the floor pan, and you need to move it that way about 1/4 inch. Same idea, hook the ratchet strap to it, pull it over, put a few of the screws in, lines up fantastically. So I know this works, so that's what we're going to do here, and you'll see how effortlessly this probably actually moves. Oh, I got to take the screws out. I just got this hook down here on the bottom on the other side there. Alright, now, screws got to come out. Climb my butt out of here. Ratchet strap to his arm, screws are removed. I want you to see this before. Like I said, this doesn't look bad. We're actually lining up decent with the quarter panel until I get down here, then it's kicked out too far compared to the rocker panel. You come up underneath, that gap looks horrible. I know it looks not so bad on camera, but I assure you, it's not good. What we're gonna do though, we're gonna put this magnet here. That's gonna put our door where it lines up with our rocker panel. Look at that. Now it's nice and even with the rocker panel, front to back, nice clean gap. I don't have a height change here. It's actually on the same plane. That looks great until we get up here. Look at that. I can actually snag that. And as it gets down here, it closes up. That tells me the top of this needs to come in. Again, could we mess with the doors? Sure. But I didn't mess with the hinges. That's why I don't take the doors off. This is my fixed point of reference. So when pulling in that rocker panel, I've just stored it at the back of the car. So I want to straighten that out. I even proved by here, -1 degree. So I'm going to put you guys up over here. Click that ratchet strap, and I bet you we're going to see that gap close up. Put you right like that. And again, watch here, and I'll keep this door stuck on the bottom of the magnets. The door shouldn't change relationship. We're going to be moving the quarter panel inner structure in. And again, it's not going to take a whole lot of effort here. Oops. Hold that. Put that magnet in a better place. 1 click, 2 click, almost there. 3 click. Looking a whole lot more gooder. All right. Well, that feels real nice. Now, the thing about metal is, I let off that ratchet strap, it's going to come back out. So I got to go just a little bit too far and then let it come back out. But I'll put the screws in. I want to check the angle on the inside here and see where it's at. And let me show you here. Now, look at this. Our door gap hasn't increased the width between the quarter and the door. That looks great. Our spacing here, this lines up pretty good. Top of the door needs a little massage, but the majority of it is where I would like it to be. That's just a few hits with a hammer, but you get the idea. I don't have that huge step anymore. And our bottom is still lined up great there with our rocker panel. Come this direction, again, look at the gap. Dialing it all in real nice. Now again, I drop in our angle gauge here. Hopefully I can get it in place. Get that thing to focus. You'll see 0, and it's actually butted up nice and tight. Went from -degrees to 0, so that's where it's supposed to be. And now my door jamb is looking a whole lot more better. I think we're on the right path. Again, maybe 1 click past, and I'll bring it back, and I'll drop the screws in the new location, pull that ratchet strap off, and make observations, but I think we're off where we need to be. Okay, so I'm gonna go maybe 1 or 2 clicks past. All right, we're gonna go, maybe it's 1 more click here. Oh, no, that's pretty snug. I don't want to get too carried away. Now, I need to let off of it. You know what, actually, I'm going to put the screws in with it in and see where it rebounds at. Not super tight, I just don't want to force it here. Now I'll let this off and we'll see where this bounces back to. I'd say that's within a very acceptable tolerance. Let's check my angle gauge. Let's see where this rides at. It says green and nice and level. So that's it, simple as that. relocate the screws down there, make sure I weld that in place. But look at our gap now. That is exactly what we're looking for. I didn't mess with the hinges yet. Now I can still fine tune that with the hinges, but now we're in the right ballpark. I need to do the same thing to the driver's side, but this is part of the downside of not using a lot of bracing. But let's just say these were already splayed out from the rust collision, whatever damage to the car, and I brace that together. And I start welding everything together. Then my door jamb is all jacked up, and then I'm cutting stuff back apart or manipulating the heck out of the hinges. One of my fears of maybe extreme modifying the hinges is we haven't put the hood back on the car, or the fenders may have some gap issues there. So this is how it's worked for me, and I wanted to share that with you in case you get into the same situation. That's why I keep things on the car, to keep things lined up, because now I have a green light. After this is all secure, I can peel the skin off this quarter panel now and work on replacing it. And when I put the new quarter panel on, I can still use this door as a point of reference. I should be able to then check the gap this direction, and then our in and out, which should be good to this door. So long as I set it to that, I know what it's going to look like. But before we do that, well, there's something missing back here in the back of the car. Same science. I need to put the trunk deck that I'm going to use, potentially that one, on the car. That way, when I'm starting to cut all this crappy, rusty trunk gutter out, I start losing my structure, my shape. I should be able then to count on the trunk deck plus measurements and visual. What does it look like to reposition this sheet metal to get the best possible fit? Not restoring a car, I'll keep saying that, but rebuilding my own car with reproduction parts. All right, so for me, I'm gonna work on putting the trunk deck on. Probably not gonna record that. It's 4 bolts. Get it adjusted. Find the center line. Inspect my gaps. Get it the best that I can get with the factory, or what's left of the factory trunk jam in the gutter. That way, when I cut that all out of the car and throw it in the trash, I can use my trunk deck as a point of reference, just like I did here on the doors. And that's how I get these aftermarket reproduction body panels look as good as I do. It is a little bit of chaos, little extra steps, but it really makes for a super clean car when it's done. Because now when I shut that door, that rocker panel, look at it. You can see it from here. That line to the rocker panel of the door is spot on. I didn't have to do anything to this door yet. I still have some additional tips on that if we have to get creative, but I can't tell how many times I go to a car show. You see a beautiful car, but the gap is a little out of whack on the bottom. I think something like this might have happened and they didn't know how to fix it or didn't notice that it went sideways. So that's why you leave the sheet metal, just in my opinion, on the car as you're doing all the sheet metal work to really know, because I'm gonna say it 1,000 more times, what's it look like when it's done? I don't care about your measurements. They're important and they should be even side to side. But if the measurements are spot on and you got a twisted looking car, that's kind of disappointing. I think I'd rather fudge the measurements and make it look better if I had to give up one for the other. But typically you saw that 0 degrees perpendicular. It's where it's supposed to be. So I feel anything, I got it back where it needs to be and also remedied the issue that I was having. So nonetheless, I'm gonna work on that part there. Then when I get to cutting off the quarter panel and doing the fender well, I'll grab the camera and get back with you all, show you how that goes and the science or the crazy or the right way, the wrong way, and the VVG way of doing things, and get you involved and see how that happens. And just if you guys checking out for fun, thank you for watching. Those checking it out for how to do this stuff or ways to do it, appreciate you watching just the same. So nonetheless, I'll work on that there. Grab the camera and get into the next part, and I hope to see you all then.
Yeah, he's restored a Pontiac or two, and he's been known to drink a big orange dew. Just a working man trying to save the world. One Firebird.